Morning, everybody. Welcome to Price Know-How Snippets for November. So we're going to talk this morning about exchange rates, oil prices, and then through into monomer and polymer prices. So I'm going to kick things off. I'm Mike Boswell, the Managing Director at Plastribution. I'll start by talking about oil price. And here we've seen actually a fall in oil price compared to September. So in October, the average price for a barrel of oil was 88.42. In September, that was 92.01. The minimum in September was 86.86, and in October that fell to 84.07. And the maximum in September was 94.43, and that fell to 92.38. If you want to look at that in terms of price per tonne in pounds, then the price fell from 559.72 per tonne to 547.20, a £12.52 reduction, which is a number worth noting when we come to talk about monomers. In terms of exchange rates, again, we saw the pound weakening against both the dollar and the euro. So against the euro, the pound slipped in October by 1 cent from 116 to 115. Against the dollar, it slipped by 2 cents from 124 to 122. So dollar strength of about 1.7%. That will be influential both in terms of engineering polymers and polymers sourced in Asia, but also as we see increasing amounts of polyethylene imports from the US, obviously that'll impact on those imports as well. I'm now going to hand over to Ian, who's one of our product managers. He looks after polyethylene and polypropylene. He's going to talk about monomers and the impact of those monomer prices through into polymers. Ian, over to you.
Many thanks, Mike. So as Mike's just talked about, oil prices dropped, which sort of fed directly into naphtha prices, which also dropped, and that's led to some drops in monomers, slightly balanced by a couple of minor supply interruptions, particularly on propylene. So there have been a few sort of outages. Taking polypropylene first, that dropped by €40 from 1120 to 1080 euros a ton. Ethylene C2 dropped by €45 from 1260 to 1215. So thinking about the impact that's going to have on polymer prices, it's a little bit mixed, and it depends on where you started from in October. So those companies that saw strong gains are possibly looking at offering the full monomer reduction. Those that didn't achieve good increases in September and October, possibly looking for rollover. So you're probably going to see prices somewhere in between those two numbers. So somewhere in the region of rollover to minus €45 a ton, with an average somewhere in the middle. So market commentators that I spoke to late last week suggested somewhere in the region of 25 to 30 euro a ton reductions overall. It's varying from product to product. So we're seeing in some instances, some grades are better available. There's been some reports of some interruptions to supply at some European sites. The BP cracker at Gelsenkirchen declared force majeure last week, which produces around about 1 million tons of ethylene feeding into SABIC site at Gelsenkirchen. So there's a few little glitches in terms of supply, and it's a little bit of a concern when you think about how fragile some of our pipelines are, that there's not a lot of material in it and people are operating in this hand-to-mouth way. So it wouldn't take too much of a shock to the system to start to cause a few issues in terms of supply. As ever, best thing to do is keep talking to us, and we'll keep you informed as best we can as to what's happening in the market. And if you've got any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. Thanks very much.
Thanks for those insights, Ian. As Ian said, please do contact your sales team, or myself, Ian and Catherine, also available to talk about the market and how we see things progressing through November. Also, we'll be publishing the full-blown version of Price Know-How during the course of the month. We'll have some more information in that as the month goes on, and we look forward to explaining further in the future. So thank you very much indeed for your attention. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.